They think silence means nothing happened. They think no alarms means no movement. They think because no one knocked on your door that the story ended. But the truth is quieter and heavier. Something shifted the moment you decided to move differently. The moment you stopped asking for permission. The moment you learned instead of talked. The moment you observed instead of explained. They cannot trace you in the way they expect. But your digital footprint just changed the game. Not because you were loud, not because you were reckless, but because growth always leaves marks, and marks scare people who stay still. Before this goes deeper, pause for a second. If these words hit something inside you, then press like right now. Not later, right now. Subscribe because this space is for people who think in silence and build in the dark. And write a comment, even if it is just one word, that shows you are still here, still breathing, still pushing. Do it not for numbers, but for commitment. Because when you engage, you tell yourself that you are serious about becoming more than what they predicted. They called you quiet. They called you average. They called you someone who would never step outside the lines. They never imagined you would learn how systems work. They never imagined you would understand patterns. They never imagined you would read between lines instead of following them. While they were scrolling, you were studying. While they were copying, you were questioning. While they were showing off, you were sharpening your mind. And now they feel it. Not because you announced it, but because outcomes speak in a language fear understands. Your digital footprint is not about hiding. It is about intention. Every search you made had a purpose. Every hour you spent learning left a shadow. Every skill you practiced quietly stacked weight behind your name. People think footprints are mistakes. They think they expose weakness. But the right footprint shows direction. It shows discipline. It shows evolution. And when people who never moved see proof of movement, they panic. They label what they do not understand. They call focus obsession. They call skill luck. They call intelligence something suspicious. Because it is easier than admitting they stayed comfortable. This is not about being perfect. You doubted yourself many nights. You wondered if it was worth it. You stared at screens feeling behind. You questioned your pace. You questioned your value, but you kept going. Not loudly, not dramatically, just consistently. That is the part they missed. Consistency does not trend. Consistency does not beg for attention. Consistency builds quietly until one day it changes the room. And when the room changes, people look for a reason. They look for someone to blame. They look for a label. That label is never about you. It is about their fear of catching up. They say your digital footprint got you called a hacker. What they really mean is that you learned faster than expected. You adapted quicker than planned. You connected dots they never saw. You respected the rules while mastering the game. You did not break anything. You built yourself. And that is the most threatening thing to a system that feeds on predictability. You became unpredictable not through chaos but through discipline. That kind of growth cannot be traced easily. It does not show up as noise. It shows up as results. You did not wake up one day powerful. You woke up tired. You woke up confused. You woke up unsure. But you chose effort anyway. You chose curiosity over comfort. You chose patience over applause. You chose long-term thinking in a world addicted to instant proof. That choice reshaped your digital presence. Not because you tried to impress, but because learning leaves patterns. Progress leaves patterns, and patterns reveal intention. People forget that the internet remembers effort. It remembers questions. It remembers attempts. It remembers failures. It remembers retreats. While they were busy crafting images, you were crafting understanding. While they were chasing validation, you were chasing clarity. That is why your footprint looks different. It is not flashy. It is not loud, it is deep. And depth is intimidating to shallow minds. They cannot trace you because you never followed their path. You did not copy their shortcuts. You did not chase their trends. You built your own route step by step. And when someone walks a path that does not exist on common maps, it confuses those who rely on directions. They think you disappeared. You did not. You evolved. Quietly, intentionally, relentlessly. This is the part where doubt tries to creep back in. This is the part where you wonder if being misunderstood is worth it. It is, because every innovator was misunderstood before they were respected. Every disciplined mind was doubted before it was trusted. Every focused individual was questioned before they were followed. The noise you hear now is not danger. It is recognition trying to find a name. Do not shrink to make others comfortable. Do not explain yourself to people who never listened. Do not slow down to match a pace that almost broke you. Your digital footprint tells a story of effort. Let it. Your silence protects your energy. Guard it. Your growth threatens those who settled. That is not your problem. You are not ahead by magic. You are ahead by miles of unseen work. Hours of learning when no one watched. Days of practicing when no one cared. Weeks of failing when quitting felt easier. That is why when your name shows up, people react. Not because you did something wrong, but because you did something rare. You committed. They want to know how you did it. They want a shortcut. There is none. There is only patience. There is only discipline. There is only choosing progress over comfort every single day. Your digital footprint did not expose you. It exposed the gap between those who work and those who wish. Remember this. Being called something you are not is often a sign you became something they are not. Stay focused. Stay learning. Stay quiet. Let your results keep speaking. And if this message fuels you, then stay connected. Like, subscribe, comment, because this is not the end. This is just the moment they realized you are no longer playing the same game. They cannot label determination. They cannot measure patience. They cannot reduce focus to a soundbite or a trend. Your footprint exists because you invested in understanding, in practicing, in thinking differently. And that is uncomfortable for those who never looked beyond the surface. They will try to put words on it. They will try to frame it. They will call it dangerous, suspicious, or strange. But you know the truth. It is only powerful. It is only unstoppable. It is only real. And nothing that is real can be erased by judgment. Every click, every search, every quiet hour you spent studying or testing or learning something new left an invisible echo, and echoes grow louder over time. What they see as a trace is actually a monument built not in public, not in show, but in deliberate action. Every step you took added weight to your skill, precision to your thinking, confidence to your decisions. That is why labels fall short. They cannot describe effort. They cannot contain intelligence. They cannot frame evolution. Look around. Watch closely. People fear the unknown. They fear what they cannot control. And your digital footprint is unknown. It is unpredictable. It is yours. They do not understand it because they never took the time to learn the discipline behind it. They see the results and assume shortcuts. They see growth and assume luck. They see capability and assume cheating. But the reality is far simpler and far stronger. You worked, you built, you persisted, you adapted, you evolved. That is what their fear is really pointing at, the gap they never crossed. Do not let the reactions of others dilute your momentum. Let them call you what they will. Let them misunderstand you. Let them whisper about your abilities. Those whispers are a sign of your ascent, not your failure. Every mislabel, every sigh of doubt, every raised eyebrow is proof you are ahead of the curve, proof that your discipline is visible in a world obsessed with appearances. The truth always stands out, even when hidden. The digital world does not forget, but it does not care. It does not judge. It reflects reality, sometimes slower than we wish, sometimes in ways that confuse others. And your digital footprint is proof of that reality. It proves that what you put in is what you get out. That consistency, focus, and intentional learning leave marks that cannot be faked. That growth, when authentic, always speaks louder than noise. And that message is permanent. It is undeniable. You are not here to be understood by everyone. You are here to move, to progress, to sharpen, and to evolve. And that movement always leaves evidence. Some will interpret it wrongly. Some will call it fearsome. Some will call it suspicious. But that evidence does not belong to them. It belongs to you. Every pattern you create, every connection you make, every skill you develop is a reminder that effort and focus are more powerful than labels. Do not shy away from your own footprint. Do not attempt to erase it to make others comfortable. Do not try to hide progress because people cannot follow. Your digital presence, your growing influence, your evolving capability, this is your signature. This is your proof. It is a map of your journey. And that journey is unstoppable. That journey is inevitable. That journey will always leave people guessing while you keep moving forward. There is power in invisibility. There is power in subtlety. There is power in being quiet while everything you touch transforms. People notice, even if they cannot articulate it. They see your results. They feel the shift. They react without knowing why. And that is exactly where you want them to be. Watching, wondering, realizing too late that you were never playing by the same rules, that you were never competing with their pace, that you were carving your own path the whole time. Embrace the shadows of your digital footprint. Do not fear the recognition it brings. The labels, the murmurs, the questioning, they are simply echoes of your growth. They cannot undo what you have built. They cannot change your trajectory. They cannot reverse the effort that transformed knowledge into skill, curiosity into capability, and silence into power. Keep learning, keep moving, keep building. Let the world try to trace you, because tracing is only possible when the person being traced stops moving. And you are not stopping. You are accelerating. You are evolving. You are rewriting what is possible. Your digital footprint is not a weakness. It is a weapon of progress, a proof of patience, a monument of deliberate action. And it has changed the game. So continue in silence, continue in focus, continue in persistence. Let your results speak. Let your discipline define you. Let your footprint be a map for your own journey, not a label for someone else's fear. And remember this, people will always try to classify what they cannot comprehend. Let them. You are beyond classification. You are beyond expectation. You are beyond the noise. And your digital footprint is proof that the quietest moves make the deepest impact. If this resonates, don't just scroll. Like, subscribe, comment, because you are not just watching, you are committing to something bigger than recognition, bigger than labels, bigger than judgment. You are committing to your growth, and that is the only recognition that truly matters. Your game has changed. Your rules are your own. Your pace is your own. Your digital footprint is your own, and it will always speak louder than words ever could. Every day you spent staring at the screen, wondering if you were behind, wondering if anyone would ever notice, was another day building invisible armor. They do not see the nights you chose learning over distraction. They do not see the mornings you woke up tired but refused to quit. They do not see the moments you fell short and silently corrected yourself instead of whining or giving up. And yet, every one of those moments left a mark in the pattern of your digital existence, a mark in the trajectory of your mind. This is why your footprint scares them, not because it is wrong, not because it is dangerous, but because it is undeniable. They call it hacking, but you know better. They say suspicious, but you know better. They see a path they cannot follow and assume it is criminal or unfair. They do not understand that mastery leaves traces, that focus leaves traces, that patience leaves traces. Every post you read, every tutorial you watched, every skill you practiced, they all combine into a silent signature of progress that cannot be deleted, cannot be faked, cannot be hidden. And that signature is proof. You are changing the game without making a sound. Think about it. Every step they mocked you for taking, every second they dismissed, every idea they laughed at, they underestimated how quietly a mind can work. They assumed visibility equals power. They assumed noise equals movement. They assumed popularity equals impact. But you learn the truth. Real power is invisible. Real movement is subtle. Real impact is silent until it cannot be ignored. And now that it cannot be ignored, they are scrambling to find meaning in your actions. They are trying to label your efforts because they cannot replicate them. Do not feel guilty for their confusion. Do not apologize for the gap you created between their pace and yours. The gap is proof. Proof that you invested when others wasted. Proof that you acted when others hesitated. Proof that your mind is sharper because it was willing to walk alone. Every digital footprint you leave, every pattern they cannot decode, is a reminder that intelligence and effort are never silent. They are only quietly relentless, and relentless is unstoppable. Your growth is not linear, and that is why it is frightening to watch. People expect progression to be neat, predictable, and visible. They expect results to arrive on a schedule that comforts them, but your progress never followed their rules. Your growth twisted around obstacles, adapted to circumstances, and learned faster than assumptions. That is why your footprint seems strange to them. That is why your journey looks like something they would never attempt. And that is exactly why it has changed the game. Think about the hours spent in silence while the world chased trends. Think about the moments when giving up felt easier, but you chose to continue. Think about the people who doubted you, laughed at you, or ignored you. Each one of them left a shadow in your story. Not a shadow over you, but a shadow you stepped over.